Hi, good afternoon, board. I'm here to ask you to make grants available to the public when they find themselves on the abusive end of powerful city attorneys such as Heidi Feldstein Soto. There's one person who's looking at a year's worth of jail time because he went against the Church of Scientology, who was putting plastic stuff down on a public easement to prevent any ADA or any person from being on their easement. And he removed it because it was trash. They had no permission to put it there. But the city attorney, instead of going after the people who put it there, are going against the person who took it up. He's looking at a year's worth of jail time. He needs help. There needs to be grant resources. There's also another person who is upset about what she's being accused of in the LA Times and confronted her in public. And she did nothing, but another like neighborhood council person got in his face and was being very verbally abusive. And that person's in trouble, but not the attorney who allowed him. Like, it was her job. The neighborhood councils fall under the city attorney. It was Heidi Feldstein Soto's job to tell him he is out of line. He can't do that. Not only did she not do that, she thanked him and did not. And so this person abused the rights, the freedom of speech of one person, and did not get the direction of the city attorney to know that he was out of order, and she was right there. So there's a lot of people who are abused by people in power across the board, and there needs to be help for the little person who finds themselves up against a Goliath, a city attorney. And I know she's been reported numerous times, and she needs to be looked into for her bar. Her attorneys. I've seen her attorneys also allow. Is that the time? Thank you. I also seen her attorneys allow different violations, like Brown Act violations, at city council meetings, and they do nothing. And they need to be looked into. But I know for you guys, it's a branch with legal aid, and legal aid is necessary. We need legal aid. Everyone who's coming up against these people who are being abused. Imagine looking at a year's worth of time for picking up garbage that had no right to be there. What about equal application of the law? The Church of Scientology, or the cult of Scientology, should be the ones fined for putting plastic on an easement so no person can go on. I'm in a chair. I can't access it. People getting out of their cars couldn't access it. Dogs can't access it. It's the public easement. It belongs to us. And they were not reprimanded, scolded, or anything. They have planters now that the city told them is not ADA compliant and need to be removed. They're not being removed, but yet she's going after the one person who tried to make a difference for the public. He's looking at a year's worth of jail time. It's ridiculous. Please make this stuff stop. Give the people help to go after even public officials who are lawyers. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Are there any other public comments?
Yes, and I have allowed the next person to speak.
Yes, how y'all doing? I'm trying to figure out a solution to, first of all, that the cult of Scientology doesn't have to answer to anybody, and they can just operate at free will, fair gaming people, harassing and stalking and costing people thousands of dollars and missing days of work to show up at court on bogus charges that are being beat. Even it's more expensive because they have to go to trial to prove their innocence. What's the punishment for them? Like making false calls. What's the pushback? I hear all this money being asked to be given, but what's the consequences to a lot of these criminal actions that they're committing? We don't know who to go to. We're beating them in court, but obviously it's not stopping them and the police from making false arrests and filling out false restraining orders. It's getting ridiculous. With the planters not being moved, they still not opening up L. Ron Hubbard like they supposed to. The lady out at LA, she's in a wheelchair. She can't even access to where she needs to go on a public street and a public sidewalk because they feel they want to block her. They're not the lawmakers, but somebody needs to make them abide by the law. It's sad that they go out their way and nobody can't do nothing. They stalk, they harass their families through mail, send pictures, all kind of disgusting things, mess with people's job. They SWAT. They talking about a waste of taxpayers' money with the false SWATings. I literally saw my friend with guns to his head with fear in his face because the LAPD was responding to a false SWAT recall. The man had no gun. He was not doing anything that was not illegal. He was in his legal rights to do what he was doing, expressing his freedom of speech. You can't pull guns on somebody and literally put fear in their face because you want to, and somebody made a false call without it even being, investigated. And then once they seen it was false, there was no consequences to the caller.
Okay, Mr. Kenny, thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Yes. And I have allowed the next person to speak.
Hi, good morning, board. My name is Andrew Marini. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
I appreciate your time today. I just want to clarify and say I am one of the victims of being a public critic to Scientology. In my short couple of months here, I have been a victim of bogus criminal charges from City Attorney Heidi Soto, the same city attorney who refuses to issue criminal charges against a man named Wendell, who publicly defecated and masturbated in front of a minor out by the Church of Scientology and was hired by the Church of Scientology. And we have direct evidence that says so. Heidi Soto, not only that, would much rather see people who are critics of Scientology be prosecuted, not child predators like Anthony D'Amato Jr., who have a restraining order for constantly sexually harassing and swatting a minor by the name of Solomon Sassoon. I just want to read you one of the comments that this person, Anthony D'Amato Jr., makes against a minor named Solomon. I fucked Solomon's mama. Took me a while to cook up the cream pie because she has such a wide-set vag. I want to play to you one of the videos used in court as part of the evidence used to obtain the restraining order, where Anthony D'Amato Jr. makes explicit comment to want to rape a minor. Here you go.
I am going to personally grape and give the gift of grape to Solomon and his mother in their home. I would pay for it. I would pay for their monthly subscription to my grape club. Okay. Zero Dark Tony's grape experience.
This is what he has to go with day in, day out. We also know for a fact that Mr. Anthony D'Amato Jr. is the person behind swatting calls. I have had guns pointed at my head. Anthony D'Amato Jr. is a Scientologist and works directly with Kendrick Moxon, a Scientology lawyer. Kendrick Moxon has also committed perjury on several counts. You don't have to take my word on this. It's not hearsay. It's official on court records. I made a complaint to the Chief Trial Counsel. When will action be taken? Will it be too late? Will the blood of this child, Solomon Sassoon, be on your hands? Will another protester have to die? Will my dog have to be killed as a result of Mr. D'Amato's death threats for you to take action? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other public comments?
Yes, I've allowed the next person to speak.
Good afternoon, committee. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I would like to address this committee on the subject of the fellowship grants. I would like to see more fellowship grants going to the CE credits, especially for the older attorneys that may need refresher courses pertaining to constitutional law. Lately, there have been several cases, Hochstetter versus Costner, Good versus Costner, which ended up being anti-SLAPP cases, and Scientology versus Hochstetter, or Scientology v. You can just replace the name as you will. Today was another win against the Scientology cult. Their on-staff longtime attorney, Kendrick Moxon, and the city attorney, Heidi Soto, are batting zero against the advocates demonstrating against the abusive practices of Scientology. As constitutional students, I am sure you would agree to deny an individual of a First Amendment right is a violation of fundamental public policy. And as the world evolves into more media access, this right will be contended more and more. I do believe that there needs to be additional funds to bring the attorneys up to speed on our media access. Thank you, and I give back my time.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other public comments?
No, there are no other hands raised.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. There is one person who just raised their hand, and I'm allowing them to speak. You should be allowed to speak now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, how you doing? I'm from the state of New York. I'm a victim of child sexual abuse from the Church of Scientology as I grew up in a neighborhood surrounded by them before they took over my apartment complex in Clearwater, Florida. Okay, these people are so dangerous. It brings tears to my eyes to see small children walking through those doors and knowing damn well what they're going through. I appreciate everyone's time, and I stand by all my friends who are fighting this fight. And we really need people's support, other people's support in this. This is dangerous. This cult is dangerous. They just moved into my county. They just bought a building for $15.2 million in Melville, New York. Okay, this is horrible what's going on here. And the laws state that children are protected by our laws, but yet no one is following up with this. You're allowing this child abuse to continue and human trafficking. These are innocent children whose lives are ripped from them for no reason whatsoever. For what? For what? What is the point? What is the reasoning for this? My life was destroyed. I'm also a veteran of the U.S. Army. Okay, I know PTSD. I know combat. I know fighting. I know what it's like. Okay, but childhood PTSD due to sexual abuse is a worse scenario. And I'm living proof of that. Okay, I thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Any other public comment?